Hi everyone, I'm Ania. I'm a personal trainer, an ASICS front runner and an ambassador for the National Running Show. And today we have put together a lovely stretch sequence to help you runners out there. It can be done anytime, anywhere. You don't need so much space. And the perfect thing about this workout is you can do it either before your run, if you want to warm up and just stretch everything out. You can do it after your run if you feel like you're feeling a bit tight, or you can do it on your recovery days. Either way, it's perfect, nice and simple. All you need is a mat, or you can just do it on the floor or just a bit of space on your carpet. Right, okay, so let's get going. I'm going to get you standing. Now, we're going to take the feet hip width apart, heels under hips, soften your knees, and just roll your shoulders back. So just start with taking a deep breath in, breathe out, and just let everything relax. And nice big shoulder rolls up towards the ears, and then rolling them back. Now let's take a big stretch up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, breathe out, and just relax your shoulders down. Now just soften your knees, feel the floor, and let's go with a few swings. We're going to let everything go. So take a deep breath in, reach up. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees, drop the head, and lift back up into that stretch. Deep breath in, breathe out, drop the head, and let everything go. That's it. Let's do a few more. Deep breath in, breathe out. That's it. Now we're going to get those calves stretched out. So as you drop and you stand, you're going to lift your heels up. Big stretch. Breathe out and let everything go. Heels up, big stretch, and drop. And again, big stretch here. Let's keep it going. You have an option to lift one heel up at a time. Drop, other heel up, and drop. Let's do two more. Deep breath in, breathe out. One more, and hold it here. Well done. Arms down the side. Let's step those feet a little bit wider. Now we're going to roll down into a Hindi squat. So bring the palms of your hands together, soften your knees, and come into a squat. Now you can stay here, making sure those heels are on the floor, or we can drop a little bit deeper. Now try to ease your knees out with your elbows, and just gently just move side to side, massage your feet. And we're going to really open up that groin area, your inner and outer thighs and your hips. This also strengthens the lower back, so that's perfect. Now just gently, again, if you need to just ease off, come back up, take a deep breath in, breathe out, and let's sink a little bit deeper. Now I love doing this stretch before and after a run, because obviously the hip flexors, the inner and outer thighs get really, really tight on those runs. Now, all we're going to do is straighten those legs. Bring your hands to your knees, and then bring your hands lower down. So you can have your hands on your knees, your shin, or your floor here. So take the feet a little bit wider. So just walk the feet out, heels and toes, and drop the head and relax everything. Relax your shoulders. Just taking slow, deep breaths. And feel a deep stretch in the back of your legs. Again, if this is too much, you can soften your knees. So you can bend your knees if you need to. And again, just lift those hips up high, draw the belly button towards the spine, and relax. So you're really stretching out the back of the legs, your calves, your hamstrings. That's it. Okay, now let's drop again to that Hindi squat. So you're going to be a little bit wider this time. So just again, just massage the feet in and out. Let's go back to that hamstring stretch. So we're going to lift up. Now, we're going to place one palm down on the floor. If not, just on the fingertips. And we're going to open up to the side. Let's open up. Now, I want you to push down into the floor and extend that top arm, really reaching towards the sky. So here we're opening up the chest. We're really stretching out those shoulders, warming up that lower back and stretching out the back of the legs. Let's change. Let's bring that other hand down. So on your fingertips, on the palms of the hand. And let's reach up and open. That's it. So really pull that shoulder back. And let's do it one more time each side. Let's reach and open, and again, really lengthen up and stretch. And then one more time on the other side, reaching up and holding it here. Now just walk your feet in and roll your spine. Come all the way up, nice big shoulder roll, and just relax. Now we're going to come down to the floor, so I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to come down to something called a child's pose. Now your child's pose, relax your toes behind you. You have a couple of options here. Now you're going to take your arms forward, sit your hips back, and just stretch. And this is your child's pose. Now if you're finding this a bit difficult, if you're finding you can't get your hips all the way back, or if you're pregnant, or just any back issues, then take your knees wide. So wide knees, toes together, and then when you're ready, you can bring those arms forward. So let's just sit back into that child's pose, holding it here. Now spread your fingers wide, and again, just relax. We're just gonna sit back here and chill out. Now, with this stretch, it's really lengthening and strengthening those arms, those shoulders, stretching out that lower back, opening up the hips. That's it, so just relax here. Now, all I'm going to get you to do is bring that right hand a little bit more slightly forward for a bigger shoulder stretch. Holding it here, let's reach. Let's try it on the other arm. So that left hand forward, big stretch here. And hold. Okay. Now, we're going to do some sun salutations. Now, if you've never done yoga, don't worry. This is going to really open up the hips, give everything a stretch. And then we're going to get moving with a few more. Now, all I'm going to get you to do is tuck your toes under and lift back into your down dog. This is a down dog. Your hips are up high, you're easing your heels towards the floor, you're pushing down into the mat, and you're dropping the head. So you're in like an upside down V. Anytime you need to, just come back down to your child's pose, okay? So this is your resting position. All right, so we're in that down dog. I absolutely love this stretch because it stretches everything. We're gonna just warm up those calves. So, bend your knees one at a time, and this is called a walking dog. So just lifting up the heels, nice and slow, there's no rush, take your time. You can do as many as you like. I always think this is really good before a run because you're warming up your calves, you're stretching out the spine. That's it. Just keep going, just a few more each side. And let's just hold that down dog. All we're gonna do is lift up your right leg. So we're gonna open up the hips. Now we have a three-legged dog, closed hip. That means you're gonna lift up your right leg as high as you can, point your toes down, push that heel out. This is gonna really open up your hips. It's gonna stretch out the glutes, stretch out the lower back. Place that foot down. Let's try it on the other side. Other leg lifts, closed hip, toes down, push that heel out. That's it. Let's do it again. One more time on that right side. So lift up that right foot. Now, we're gonna take it into an open hip. So you're gonna point your toes and lift up a little bit higher on the supporting leg, lift onto the balls of the feet, and then we're gonna swing this leg through and place it between the hands, and then drop the back knee. Now, if you find your foot doesn't come to your hands and it's here, just grab your foot and bring it forward. It's not a problem. Relax your toes down behind you. And here we're gonna take a big stretch, reaching your arms up, relax your shoulders, and think about easing your hips forward. That's it, so just really, really stretch out your hip flexors and relax. Bring those hands down to the inside. Now, if your hands can't come to the floor, don't worry. You can bring your hands on your thigh. You can come down here. If you are a bit more flexible, you can bring it down onto your forearms. Okay, whatever's best for you. That's it. Now, a lot of runners get really, really tight hips. It's very common, so I always suggest trying to do this stretch, this hip flexor stretch. That's That's it, just breathe. Now, let's come into a twist. Whilst we're here, we might as well. So if your right leg is forward, your right hand lifts, you open and you reach up. That's it, so really stretch that arm. Let's open up that chest, let's open up those shoulders. And then place that hand down. Now, here, we're gonna sit back into a hamstring stretch. So keep those toes behind you relaxed and gently take your time and straighten that front leg, pointing your toes towards the ceiling. If this is too much, don't worry, just stay back in that hip flexor stretch. That's absolutely fine. So again, you should feel a big stretch on the back of your thigh and your calves. We're not here for long. Let's come forward again. Bring those hands down. Now let's step back to your down dog. So tuck your toes under behind you, step the foot back, and let's go back to that walking dog. So just bend your knees one at a time, nice and slow, gently easing your heels down, lifting your hips up high. Okay, with that left leg, let's start with a closed hip. Toes down, push your heel. Now point your toes, open up the hips, and come onto the balls of the feet. Swing that leg through between the hands, drop that back knee down, and let's take a deep breath in and reach, easing your hips forward. That's it, so this is a really beautiful stretch. Relax those shoulders. And again, just chill. Take as long as you need here. Just remember, this is your stretch. If you feel like you need a longer stretch, a deeper stretch, you can stay here for as long as you like. Let's bring those hands down. So remember, on your thigh, on the floor, or on your forearms, whatever is best for you. See if you slide that knee a little bit further back and relax those toes. All right, let's go into that twist. So again, if your left leg is forward, your left arm lifts and you twist towards that front thigh. Really reaching up, pushing down into the floor with the opposite hand. And again, just stay here for as long as you like. Breathe into that stretch. And let's bring that hand down. And let's go to that hamstring stretch. So we're gonna sit back and again, take your time gently all the way back. You might find you're a bit tighter on one side than the other. I always find I'm a little bit tighter on my left side. So that's fine, so just straighten that leg. Toes up, take your time. And let's shift that weight forward again. Let's go back to that hip flexor stretch, so again, easing your hips forward. And when you're ready, let's go back to that down dog. So tuck your toes under, step back, lift your hips up high. Right, so let's move on to those sun salutations. Now brace your belly. Remember, if you need to come back into that child's pose, just take your time, relax if you need to, press pause. Totally up to you. All right, so we're in that down dog. Really pushing into the mat to stretch out those shoulders. Now we're gonna lengthen here. So let's shift that weight forward into a plank. So we're gonna build some core strength here. Brace your belly, squeeze your bum to protect the back. Now you have the option to drop to your knees or stay on your toes. We come into a crocodile pose. We're gonna squeeze your elbows in, roll the shoulders back, relax your toes, and lift the chest or baby cobra. Stretching out the front of the body. Now it's very, very important that you squeeze your bum here to protect your lower back. So squeeze that bum, relax your shoulders away from the ears, and let's push back to that down dog. We're gonna do it again. Each time we're getting a little bit faster, so lift your hips up high, deep breath in. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lower down. Roll the shoulders into that baby cobra, lift that chest. Squeeze the bum, and let's push back. And again, brace that belly. So this is really lengthening everything, so come forward again. If you think when you're running, everything shortens, you can press your spine, your muscles shorten. So it's really, really important to stretch after your runs. Relax those shoulders. Let's do it one more time. Toes under, lift your hips up high, and let's come forwards. Last time here. Drop it down, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest. Brilliant. Let's push back to your child's pose. So let's go back to that resting position. So child's pose here. And let's come forward onto all fours. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And we're just going to do a cat-cow. So just going to stretch out the spine. So like I said, when you run, your spine compresses. So we really need to try and stretch that out, get a bit more movement. So let's just bring the chin to the chest, belly button towards the spine, arch the back, and then flatten the back. And again, let's do it again. Arch the spine, and then flatten. Let's do one more, just one more. Arch, and flatten. Brilliant. Okay, we are now going to bring our legs forward. So legs forward here. Hopefully you can see me. So from the front, this is all you're doing. You're just bringing your legs forward. Okay? Now, bring one foot. So it doesn't matter which foot you start with. Okay? Bring your foot into your thigh. Take a deep breath in. We're going to reach up. Breathe out, come forward. Head to knee pose. Now again, I absolutely love this stretch because it opens up the hips, it stretches out your hamstrings, it stretches out your spine. It's brilliant, so again, before or after a run, or again on your recovery days. If you're struggling to get that other knee down, that is absolutely fine to just hug the knee in and come forward, or just keep both legs forward, all right? Again, you might not come down that far, the flexibility will come, so don't worry, okay? So if you are in that head to knee pose, reach up. Again, you can place your hands down the side, you can grab your leg, or if you are a little bit more flexible, you can reach for the toes or the foot. Just again, every time you breathe out, just let your chest fall with your breath. You should feel a really deep stretch in the back of your legs. Again, if you have tight hamstrings, it might be a little bit painful. So if you need to, just bend the knee slightly and gently ease into it. Again, just breathe, take your time and relax. Let's change legs. So let's bring the other leg forward. So bring that foot to thigh, or just keep both legs in front. Lower, ease that knee down. Let's open up those hips. Make sure both sitting bones are on the floor, so you're not lifting up one side or the other. Okay, you're relaxing. Both hip bones are down, and we reach up, breathe in, breathe out, and just come forward. Just wherever your chest falls. Hands down the side, grab your leg, or reach for the foot. So again, just take your time, relax your shoulders. Don't force this stretch. Keep breathing. Again, you should feel a deep stretch on the lower part of your back as well. Right, just gently come up. We are going to go back to this stretch a little bit later on. Till then, bring both legs forward and then take them wide. Okay, so here you can bend your knees or keep them wide. So up to you, whatever feels comfortable. So keep the knees bent or lengthen, point those toes. And again, you should feel a big stretch in your inner thighs. Take a deep breath in, breathe out and just come forward. So again, you might be here. You might have your chest all the way down to the floor. It doesn't matter as long as you're feeling a really big stretch in the back of your legs and your spine. Next time you go for a run, try this. Try and reach for your toes. And then after your run, try and reach for your toes again. That will show you how tight your back gets after a run. So before your run, you'll probably be able to touch your toes. After your run, you'll probably only be able to get to your knees. All right, so this is so important. Stretch out everything. to really keep those muscles nice and relaxed to prevent any injuries. So we're in that forward fold here. Let's do a couple of side bends whilst we're here. So we're going to take one arm in, so right leg, right arm in, and then we're reaching up and over to a side bend. So just as far as you can. If you can reach those toes, great. If not, again, don't worry. Bring that chest through, and you should feel a really big stretch on the side of the body, your C shape in your spine, lower part of the back, and just chill out. Let's try it on the other side. Bring that hand in, reach over, and relax. Just bring that chest through. Let's do it again, one more time each side. Reaching up and over. Ooh, big, big stretch. Then last time, deep breath in, breathe out, reach over. And then come back up. Bring those feet in. And let's go back to head to knee pose just one more time each side. So bring that first foot into your thigh, reach up, breathe out and lower your chest. You might find you'll be able to get a little bit deeper this time. Because everything's stretched out, everything's relaxed. Again, you can take your time. You can stay here for 30 seconds. You can stay here for 2 minutes. You can stay here for 5 minutes. Whatever you like. Let's move on to the other side. So bring those legs forward and let's change. Bring that foot into the thigh. Reach up, deep breath in, breathe out, come forward and chill out. So again, just try to ease that knee down. Keep both sitting bones on the floor. Make sure you're not lifting in any way. Relax your shoulders. And lift. Amazing. Okay. Let's stretch out the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, and the hips. A bit of everything, very, very important for runners. So I'm going to show you from the side. Bring your legs forward. Now bend your knees. Here, take your right foot and place it onto your left knee. So bring your hands down the side. Got a couple of options here. So you're going to flex your foot. So that top knee, you're easing away to really stretch out your glutes to your butt, basically. You're flexing the foot to protect that knee, all right? Okay, another option, you can come down onto your forearms, all right? Just relax here, ease that knee away. If not, come onto the palms of your hands and just gently just keep easing that knee away. Now the next move, we have a lot of options, okay? So stay here for as long as you want in this butt stretch. That's what I'm going to call it, a butt stretch, okay? Your foot that's on the floor. So if my right foot is on the left knee, I'm going to take that left heel back. So we're going to come into a modified half lotus. Now let me show you from the front. So if I was here, I'm taking that heel back and that foot is still on the knee with this top knee easing down. This is your modified half lotus, opening up the hips, stretching out the quads, stretching out the lower part of the back. Your option is to place this foot on the calf or normal cross legs with that foot in front, okay? Whatever, again, is best for you. Don't force the stretch. If it's really, really tight, don't force it. Go for that easier option. And then gradually, as you do these stretches more and more often, it will come, so don't worry, okay? So those knees are easing down here. You can do a bunch of other stretches here. You can just reach up and come forward and hold that stretch. Again, just breathing here. You can come into a twist, placing that hand on the knee and reaching back. Whatever you like, or you can just stay here, just trying to ease those knees down. All right, I quite like coming forward because that just opens up those hips a little bit more. I can really feel it, which is great. So when you've held it, so just keep holding, and I'll say after about 90 seconds, carefully come up, see how you feel. Again, stay here for a bit longer if you want to. You can come back to this stretch later on. That top foot, we're gonna unhook. We're gonna place this foot back and come into something called a hurdle pose. So both knees are bent, all right? This is your hurdle pose. Now, in that hurdle pose, we have another few options. We're gonna turn and lower the chest. This is option one, okay? Keeping those knees bent. If you are a bit more flexible, we're gonna lift up the hip, lengthen that back leg, and bring the other heel to the groin into a swan pose. Some people call this a pigeon pose, so swan pose or pigeon pose. Again, opening up the hips, stretching out the front of the thighs and the hamstrings and the lower back. And in a moment, we're gonna stretch out the quads even more. So here, if those hips are tucked under, roll your hips down, relax your upper body and reach your arms forward and lower your chest. Option, to keep that chest up. All right, chest up, chest down, or hips down. Once you've decided which stretch you're gonna do, just relax. Inhale, exhale, and just chill. Draw that belly button towards the spine, roll the hips down, and with that back leg, relax your toes. Imagine someone's pulling that leg, so you're really lengthening. Squeeze the bum to protect the lower back, and hold. So you can stay here for as long as you like. I'm going to give you another option. You can stay in this swan pose, or you can come with me and stretch out your back quad. You're going to lift yourself up, hook the foot with the hand, slide the knee back, and gently ease your heel towards your bum. So again, make sure that hip isn't opening. You're rolling the hip down towards the floor. You're lifting that elbow to open up the shoulder. All right, you should feel a really big stretch on the front of your thigh. So again, runners always have tight quads. Okay, if you're not stretching it out, they will get very, very tight. Main part of running. The quad is there to protect your knee. So very important, again, to stretch out. So gently hold it here for as long as you like. And when you're ready, we're gonna let go of that foot. Come back to that swan pose for a few seconds. And lift yourselves back up and just drop the hips down. All right, should we go to the other side? Let's go back to that butt stretch. We're gonna do it all on the other side now. So, bring your feet forward, palms down or on your forearms. Place the other foot onto your knee, okay, whichever side you haven't done. So I'm doing my left foot. So flexing that foot, so we're going to protect the knee, easing that knee away from you, lifting the chest, relaxing your shoulders. Big stretch in the glutes, opening up the hips, stretching out your inner and outer thighs. Now, a lot of people do this stretch. They lay down and they do the figure of four where you hook underneath through the gap. You can do that if you like. You can lie back, you can do the stretch and then hug that leg towards you, okay? Keep flexing that foot, protect that knee. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go to that half lotus pose. So we're gonna take the other heel, take it back, and adjust where you are. So you can keep that knee, that foot on the knee, you can bring it onto your calf, or you can come into a normal cross-legged position. So when you're there, both sitting bones are down, roll the shoulders back, ease your knees down. Up to you, come forward into that stretch, or you can go into that twist. So whatever feels tight. So if your chest and your back feels tight, go into your twist. If it's your hips and your glutes, I would suggest coming forward and chilling out here. So just relax. Take as long as you need. And then we're going to go into that hurdle pose. So if you need longer, press pause. If you like to go into that hurdle pose, let's unhook that top leg, bend both knees, and you're in that hurdle pose. And let's move on to that swan pose or pigeon pose, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to turn. You can lower your chest here, or heel to groin. Let's take that hip under, relax your toes behind you, and really lengthen that leg. Squeeze the bum, and let's lower down. So here or here. Hips roll down, belly button's drawn towards the spine, shoulders are relaxed. Now with this stretch, if you are again a bit more flexible and want a deeper stretch, you can take the heel away from the groin, flex your foot and bring it forward, okay? So that is another advanced option. If not, keep that heel close to the thigh and just relax. So if you want to stay here, if you want more to stretch out those quads, let's grab that foot behind, slide the knee back, lift that elbow, drop the hip, and let's stretch out the quad. So big stretch on the front of your thigh. Let's go, okay. Take your time. Let's go back to that swan pose, reach forward and relax. And just roll down. Okay, so if you need a bit of a break here, just relax, roll your shoulders, grab some water. We have a few more stretches to do, and then you're done. Okay, I'm gonna get you lying on your back now. So you're gonna lay down on your back. Right, so feet down. Lower back press down. And we're gonna do a few hip bridges. So palms down the side, bring your heels close to your bum, and then tuck the tailbone under, and you're gonna roll your spine up. Squeeze the bum as you lift, press into the heels, and roll back down. So again, peel your spine off the mat. Let's roll, tuck the hips, lift and squeeze, one vertebrae at a time, push up, and roll. So again, this is really stretching out that spine, strengthening those glutes, stretching out the back of the thighs. And let's just hold. Keep your hips up, clasp your hands underneath, and just drive your hands towards your heels. Lift those hips up a little bit more if you can. And let's roll down. Now here, I'm going to get you to take one leg into a hamstring stretch. So you're going to lengthen your leg, toes point towards your forehead. You can grab the back of your thigh, your knee, your calf, or if you're a bit more flexible, you can grab the foot. Gently ease this leg, so big, big hamstring stretch here. You can keep the other knee bent or you can lengthen, up to you, okay? If you want more, you can lift that chest, bring that knee towards the nose. As always, do what's best for you. Depending how flexible you are, depending how tight you are, just do what you like. So I'm not going to get you here for long because we have already stretched out your hamstrings quite a lot. But again, if you do feel like you need a bigger stretch, press pause and hold it. Let's change. The leg lifts up, so again, other knee bent, or you can lengthen, toes towards your forehead, push that heel towards the ceiling, and if you want to lift up those shoulders. And breathe. All I'm going to get you to do here is just hug your knees in, carefully rock side to side, circle your ankles. And here, just roll onto your side. Hold. We're going to come back up to standing. You've been amazing so far, well done. Just a few more stretches just to relax. So, bring those feet hip width apart. Take a deep breath in into a mountain pose. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together. Reach up, squeeze the bum. Let's really lengthen out that spine. Inhale, exhale, and just lean back to a baby back bend. Inhale, exhale, come down to a forward fold. Let's let everything go. Roll the spine. Reach your arms up, back to your mountain pose. Deep breath in. Breathe out, come back to your baby back bend. Squeeze that bum, ease your hips forward. And then come down to your forward fold. Chin to chest, roll the spine. We lift one more time, deep breath in. Mountain pose, exhale, lean back to your baby back bend. Down last time. Let's just finish with a flat back. So bring your hands to your knees, push out with the crown of the head. Hips are back. And roll up. Roll the shoulders. Make your way back down to the floor. Hug your knees and cross your legs. Roll your shoulders. And that's it. Well done. So remember, you can do this before your run, after your run, or on your recovery day. It's always important to stretch, okay? Just do what you can. Remember, you can press pause. You can hold those stretches for longer. Any questions, let me know. Contact the running show, contact me. It's Ania GPT on Instagram, or just comment on the box below. Have a lovely day, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me.